And then all of a sudden, it's fucking spring. There's fucking flowers on the trees. Are not only just blooming, but they're fucking already falling off in a day and a half. And, trees, flowers on the ground, and grass, which equals what?
It's beautiful. And
in New England, that equals pollen, and that's why I sound fucked up. I was making fun of everyone for complaining about allergies last weekend. I'm like, I don't get them. Guess what?
I
fucking got them.
Knock on wood double here.
Yeah.
I don't get allergies. At least I don't think so.
I never did until I was like 32.
Now, that doesn't mean, apparently allergies is something you can start getting when you're 68 years old.
Telling you. And that's to anything, not just hayweed and shit. And the funny thing is, maybe it's because, well, now, this is my first spring working inside, but I got like weird patches of dry skin and shit. And my wife's like, that is lack of vitamin D, and that's because you're never in the sun anymore. You just stay.
Are you never in the sun?
I'm never in the sun. I work inside, and when I'm home, I stay inside. I don't do shit outs. Like yard sailing is my outside activity, but that hasn't started yet.
Last week, as you remember, or if you don't, this is New England, folks. We're in Massachusetts, southeastern Massachusetts, and we had 85-degree weather.
Yeah,
last week, probably a little hotter. Excuse me.
It seldom gets to be 85 in the summer around here.
So I am a white man who
you just are
fucking white. Yeah. I don't have any Italian. I have a small piece of French because the French tan up pretty good.
Yeah, you get a little brown neck.
The most part, I'm fucking white.
Yeah.
And I don't spend much time in the sun. Well, this summer, I've decided that I'm going to
get some sun.
I'm going to get some sun. I'm going to take my shirt off, and I'm going to see if I can get... Because I figure... I used to build sun decks, as you remember.
And you were probably pretty bad and brown at the end of the summer
and
then.
I would wear no shirt pretty much all summer long.
Right.
Even I got thrown out of a clothing store because I went in with no shirt.
That's funny.
That was I just didn't have a shirt on. And my back was black.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now the front wasn't that, but it was tan.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I would get burnt to a crisp a couple of times, and then it would just it gave up, and it would. So I don't think I can do any more damage to my skin than I already did when I was younger.
Right.
Now maybe that's a fool's statement.
No, you know what? I don't think you can get skin cancer if you start it back up at 54 or whatever you are.
I'm just
you know
gonna
what
go.
I mean?
I'm
I think you're
out.
gonna be fine.
I'm planting shrubs, although I didn't plant the shrubs on the last house. I sucked Chris Butler into because I'm still fucking lazy. But I'm gonna get a fucking tan this summer, and I'm gonna get some. At least that's the goal.
Yeah.
Or I might just stay in this fucking room with this new air conditioner I put in now.
Pretty fucking, and you know what?
Is that fat or what?
It's not just cool and dry. The air just feels clean. It feels like you're breathing mountain air or something. You know
really
what I mean?
Is. If any of you have,
it cleans the air as well as fucking cools it.
If you don't have air conditioning in your house, now when I built my house 17 years ago. Let's call it 17. And things changed in and I'm going to say, I'm not going to say New England. I'm going to say southeastern Massachusetts, things changed. When I built my house, air conditioning was one of those, it was a luxury item.
Oh, now it's standard issue.
You only put air conditioning in the house. I didn't even think of it. I mean, I put forced hot water heat in, and so it's not like I even had, the HVAC system to add it later on. I mean, I have forced hot water heat in my house, and in the summertime, I own somewhere in the neighborhood of 5, 6, 7 window rattlers, which are the air conditioners you put in the window.
Yeah, that's my plan.
In the summertime, those run. I keep my house freezing because both my wife and I like 68, 67 degrees. If you don't have AC and you're tired of the window rattlers, look at the mini splits. And this is what I'm talking to Al about. I just hooked up. This is my second one. It's a essentially there is a unit that goes inside the house. There's a unit that goes outside, and there's no duct work or anything like that. All you have is electricity, a refrigerant line, and a water drain line that goes back out. And they're very easy to install, and they are awesome because you can control the temperature. For example, this mini split, and they call it a mini split because they have units that will have one outside unit and one inside unit, or you can have one outside unit, two inside units, or up to one outside unit and 5 indoor units. And each room you can control the temperature.
Right.
So I mean, if you want your bedroom cooler than the living room,
Right.
On the same unit, you can keep the temperature warmer in the living room than you can in the bedroom. And it's awesome. It's an awesome system, and they're wildly efficient as well. I want to say this unit, if you look up SEER, and SEER is essentially, I'm going to make this up. If I have like a 30 SEER, which means for every 1 watt of energy I put in, I get 30 units out. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but it is a wildly, like your standard window air conditioner, if you give a shit, might be 10 SEER if you're lucky. And after the second year, it's probably 8. So these things are extremely efficient. And so that's my
We talk a
call
lot.
it mini splits.
We talk a lot about energy around here, man.
If you go on to eBay, you can look up. There's several different brands, and don't be afraid. I have 2 brands. I have an LG, and I just hooked up a Pioneer brand, which is it's the brand is Pioneer, and
But it's not like
if it
Pioneer
breaks in a
stereos
week,
or whatever.
yeah, it's not Pioneer stereos. They're made in China, but let me tell you that everything, all of them are made in China. And the thing is working like a champ. Al and I are nice and cool.
Oh, boy. Cool and dry, baby.
And Al, I want to apologize. I said I was mean to Al earlier.
When were you mean to me?
Al goes into I have a cabana. My cabana is off of the house.
You weren't mean to me, by the way, so you can just stop.
Let me explain the cabana to you, for you people that want to know.
Yeah, the cabana rules.
So I lived in my house for, 3 years or so. And I said, I'd like to get a pool. Had my daughter moving here, and I said, it'd be nice to have a pool. Now, a pool I recommend that you never get, ever. Maybe an above ground. If you do get a pool, get a cocktail pool that's like 10 by 10.
Yeah, or 10
Remember
by
that
20
place in
or
Key West we stayed at?
That
That
was
had the little
cool.
cocktail
What about,
pool.
Oh, Luscious Linda's over there. That's a nice size.
No,
That's a little
that
too
was
big
bigger.
too. Yeah,
Fuck the big pool.
yeah.
Unless you're a swimmer, get a fucking cocktail pool, 10 by 10, 12 by 12.
Enough to cool off in.
It's 5-6 feet deep, maybe.
Easier to
Got a
take care
couple
of.
of steps on it.
Yeah.
You can jump in, you can cool down, and it's easy to maintain. I've got this 18 by 36 fucking monstrosity out there that as soon as the liner goes on this, it's getting filled in.
Yep.
And it was funny when I was talking to the pool guy who put it in. Old, I forget his fucking name. But he was telling me about, and laugh, he already had the money, I believe, because he was telling me about all the people that he went back to. And he said he went back to a house that he put a pool in 20 years before. And there were fucking trees growing out of the center of it and shit. And the guy wanted to get it up and running again. So it basically he did it. basically cost him what a new pool would
Oh,
cost. I mean, it was
for
just
crying out
like
loud.
he said there was an oak tree in the middle of it that was like fucking,
Mature and shit.
12 inches in diameter and various other trees, and fucking pump was junk, and all the hoses were all blown up from water being in them over the winter. But however, one of the best things I've done in my life, and I believe this will, if you're not getting along with your wife really well right now, or girlfriend, and you won't, let's say wife, and you guys live in the house together. Let me tell you something. I built this little, it's 14 by 16. That's the outside dimensions of this thing. It's got a bathroom in it because I said, I'm going to build this little pool house, and I'll keep it open when the pool's open. And that way there'll be kids over. And I put in one of these air flush toilets that just sort of fucking drags anything down. Like you could put a fucking tree in there and it'd suck it down. Because I figured there'd be like kids over there sticking 14 fucking pounds of toilet paper in the thing. And I insulated it. I drywalled it. We put tile on the floor. I built a little bar inside. And
Also with a tile top.
With
Custom.
a tile top. And it's getting a little dated because this was like 2003, 2004.
What do you mean? The tile looking? How the tile looks is dated?
Well, the whole place is pretty fucking dated.
I don't know what you mean. Like how it's decorated?
Well,
or finished?
I think I got like this Key West motif. That I did. Well, here's the deal.
I think it's timeless.
All right. Al likes it.
I don't know.
So the deal
I'm not just
is,
saying it's timeless.
The first year we had it, I fell in love with the place. There's nothing like having a place you can go that's separated from your house.
It's your office.
It's my office now. But
/ fucking project room.
I have spent more time in that pool cabana by 10 than I've spent in the house. Every waking moment, if I'm not watching television, I'm in that pool cabana.
Right.
And I can have people over. My wife is upstairs. She's not. We get along very well.
Yeah, and she can pop in and visit if she wants. She'll sit down and have a glass of wine.
She can come down and have a glass of wine if she wants.
Yep.
She uses it in the summertime when we have the pool open.
Yeah, she does hang in there. Yeah, on the weekends too.
But the deal is, if you have just a little building separated from your house that you can go to year round, and if you're home, especially if you're working it out of the house, because there's nothing worse. You have a home office, and I don't care if it's in the basement. Your wife's upstairs fucking vacuuming, and you hear things smashing into walls and stuff.
Yeah.
This little pool cabana, and it's just a 14 by 16 building.
Yep. You
don't hear shit coming from the house.
Yep.
You don't have to yell, turn that fucking thing off.
If you're paying attention, you know if someone is coming in the driveway. But if you're not, you would never know either. You know what I mean? You would never hear it.
Right.
And
the other thing is when the cops show up to visit me, they don't know about it. So they
knock on the front door.
Right, and then go away.
They go away, right.
Because this thing's around back where the pool is. So it is, if you've ever thought of this, and they had a show on for a little while.
God, I hate cops.
They had a show on called She Sheds or something like that. And I'm like, they fucking stole my idea.
Yeah.
But, they'd bring a shed in and they'd put some fucking, pink wallpaper.
Yeah, they frill it up. Yeah.
They'd frill it up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm way ahead of the game here. And I'm telling you, this is a marriage saver. Might cost you $20,000 to build one. Actually, you could probably get one up if you did it yourself for like $10,000 and it'd be working. You got to heat it somehow. I use a propane, just a propane
ventless
wall heater. Well, mine's vented.
Oh,
now.
it is.
The problem is you can use a ventless, but in a small. Don't put anything in there metal that you really like.
Because it's gonna what? get
because
discolored?
when the propane burns,
Oh.
the problem is, if you've ever used a ventless, we're talking about all kinds of building products here.
It's all
aren't
right.
we?
Talking about energy. It's energy related, everything. Air conditioning,
They have
heating.
these ventless propane. You can go to like Northern Tool and find ventless propane heaters, and you put them on the wall, and you can hook them up to a propane tank. And these things, all of the combustion air comes from the inside. Okay, so there's no vent. So they're nearly 100% efficient because every ounce of heat goes back into the room. The problem is if you use any like spray shit, if there's anything in the air, this burns whatever's in the air. Okay. The other problem is that if you have a 99.9% pure burning flame, meaning it's not putting out any carbon monoxide, which if you have one of these fucking pool cabanas like I'm talking about, and you have a ventless heater, then you need a fucking carbon monoxide detector.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you want to kill your family.
Right.
The deal is,
It is the silent killer, much like diabetes.
it really is. It'll fucking kill you dead, and you won't even know.
won't
it.
even know it.
Especially if you're drinking. You'll just pass out, and you're all done.
Yeah, you're done.
But the deal is,
Son.
the water, the byproduct is carbon dioxide and water, which sounds fine, except the water has a pH of about 4.5, which is, the balancing point between acidic and basic is 7. So this is so acidic, it'll fucking eat through anything. So I put so I found like all my guitar shit that I had out there and stuff, like the metal pieces are eaten.
Yeah. Oh.
Guitar
all right.
amplifiers.
Yeah.
A lot of
Strings must get all fucked up, too.
the strings would be fucked in
Junk.
like 3 days.
Yeah, junk.
With the heat on.
No shit.
So I have one of those ventless in the house, but the house it's 25,000 BTU ventless in a 2,300 square foot house.
It's for looks only.
So
The one in the dining room?
we still use it occasionally.
Because you got the pellet stove too. Or did you end that? Did you use that this year?
Yeah. We got pellet's the main source.
Oh, okay.
Now I got 4 sources of heat.
You're a madman.
I have pellet, oil,
propane. Yeah.
and now I have the mini split. Oh, which I didn't mention. The mini split does
it heats
AC
up. Yeah.
and heat. And they've gotten much better at the heat because, if you're in an area where, like we are, where it'll get down below 20 degrees in the wintertime, they're not very efficient below 20. Above 20, they're not bad. They used to be terrible.
That first winter in the cabana, you used portable electric heaters. They look like old style radiators, and you plug them in. You even had electric heat going.
Yeah,
those actually had water in them too, didn't they? They didn't just look that way.
They've got oil in them.
Oh, oil. Okay.
And that was back when, which is going to lead us into another thing. But
Go, baby.
I have to apologize.
No,
for
don't
Al.
apologize. You got to talk.
I blamed Al because Al likes to come over and he takes a shit in the cabana.
Once in a while. Right now, I'm good. I got a whole new regimen going, and I'm not
Oh,
shitting at 6:30.
One out of
I was
two
shitting.
podcasts.
Yeah.
Take a dump.
Yeah,
And-
it'll be less and less.
We are one of those wet wipe families. Do you wipe your ass out there with wet wipes, or do you still use the regular toilet?
You know what happens to me is
So now, let me finish
all right,
now because I'm an apology. I'm gonna apologize. So
there's nothing to apologize for.
it was coincidence only, but it seemed like every time Al used the bathroom, he would leave the fucking cover of the wet wipes with the wet wipes sticking out. And of course, if they're wet and they're sticking out in the air, well, they become dry wipes.
First of all, I would never do that if I used them.
He said he doesn't use them.
I haven't been using them for a
So
solid
not only
6
do
months.
we know that Al has a really dirty ass.
No, I use water from the tap. I just don't like the.
Oh no, don't.
Why?
Are you touching that?
No. I let it go. I take a nice wad.
Are you touching the fucking valve with your shit-stained hands?
No. I take you fucking.
There, Hodge me.
You asshole. I fucking take just like at the fucking public restroom. I take the water paper, and with the water paper, I open up the faucet, and then I fucking wet it, and then I clean myself. I mean, you started it.
I believe.
You fucking started
I believe
it.
whatever he says. Hopefully.
Why would I make that up? How do you make that up?
Hopefully, I haven't eaten a lot of Al's shit.
Listen,
You know, a tremendous amount.
the amount.
We all eat shit, you know.
And by the way, you never wash your hands before you eat anyway. You might
Oh,
wash your
that's
hands
bullshit.
after you shit. When it's dinner time, you don't wash your hands.
I fucking wash my hands.
I wash my hands
so many
constantly,
times.
but I don't wash it. But that's
Not
why I don't wash it
OCD
before dinner.
But I wash my hands.
I almost OCD it, and I never wash them right before I
every
eat
time
because
I
I know
use-
they're clean. I know they're
Every time
clean.
I use the bathroom, I wash my hands.
Oh yeah, definitely. Fuck yeah.
Whether it's a piss or a shit.
Oh, absolutely. That's fucking anybody who doesn't
And
wash their hands after they
I'm
go to the
usually
bathroom.
doing something like when I was putting this
Now,
together
that's
where
a-
I have to wash my hands.
Now, again, that's a relatively new fucking development in mankind when you look at the fucking,
Wet wipes?
no, just even washing your fucking hands after you go to the bathroom. That's only a couple hundred years old, and mankind's been around for 5,000 years.
Well, the deal is,
But if you also notice, mankind lives a lot longer now than they used to because not everybody's eating everybody else's fecal matter. You know what I mean?
no, I believe
Because
it
we wash our hands.
back in the good old days. Now, we're not talking like eating a whole fucking donut of somebody's shit.
No, but you're getting some of their fucking feces fucking cells in your shit.
What people do today,
Can you imagine cooks?
what people do today is crazy. And they're making their kids are going to die.
What are you talking about? With the hand sanitizer?
Oh, my God.
I don't use that at
These
all.
fucking assholes
I'll never
with
do
the-
that. I just
Look
use
it.
soap. Dial soap, son.
Look at, as much as this might sound disgusting, you're meant to eat a little bit of shit. And what that does is it builds your immune system up. And if you don't,
Yeah.
if you think I'm lying, you're not supposed to be using antibacterial soap for fucking everything. Because if you do that, your children, maybe you're okay because maybe you ate some shit when you were a kid.
Right.
But your kids are going to grow up
They're not used to
and
that
they're not
bacteria,
gonna have
man.
a fucking immune system.
Right. Yeah.
Because
I think that's...
as George Carlin said
I gotta say,
back
Joe,
in a 1970s album, actually it was later because he was aware of this fucking stuff. I think this is when he was
talk
older.
into the front of the mic, man.
He said, George Carlin
Don't have to
said,
yell, just talk in front of the mic.
we used to swim in the fucking East River in the 70s.
Yeah, right.
This is back when there was shit floating by.
Right. Literally.
There would be a sewage pipe
Logs of
dumping shit right on us as we swim. And we never, ever got fucking sick. And I believe him. So,
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he lived to the ripe old age of 74 or something and fucking died not too long
I
ago.
believe
Rest
he-
in peace, George Carlin. Even
Yes.
though you were a fucking card-carrying member of the fucking Communist Party, you were brilliant. A brilliant stand-up. Brilliant.
yeah, but he wasn't unreasonable, though.
No, I don't. I
He
think
didn't
you're right.
like
He wasn't unreasonable.
he didn't like Republicans.
He wasn't a zealot.
Like, if anybody started
I don't think he liked politicians.
and they grew up around Nixon,
which Carlin, by definition,
yeah, how can you fucking like Republicans after Nixon?
listen, history is being kinder and kinder to Richard Nixon.
Well, I understand that, but at the time, he was fucking everything that was wrong with this country.
It's
Even
always
though-
the president. It's
even
always
though
the
Nixon
president.
actually did get us out of the Vietnam War.
When Bill Clinton was president, he was everything that was wrong. When Obama was president, he was everything
No,
that was
that's
wrong.
not
When
true.
W was president, the only one was Poppy, fucking Bush Senior, who's
A lot of people.
But Reagan was
on both
everything.
sides
I know, but that's what I'm
didn't
saying.
like
Both
Tricky
sides.
Dick.
It was.
It
Oh,
was Tricky Dick.
well, he was a lifetime politician too. You know,
Well, so was Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton was a lifetime politician.
So
I know
was,
we talk about this
so
all
was
the time.
Poppy.
No, Poppy was a fucking an intelligence guy.
That's a politician.
You think?
He was a fucking
Oh,
senator
speaking of
before
which,
that or
so
something.
that folds nicely into something. I don't want to get off what you were talking about, But Gina Haskell loves torturing people, it turns out.
Who's Gene Haskell?
Gina Haskell. She's the Trump's nominee to head up the CIA now that Pompeo is the Secretary of State, who also is heavily in the news with the whole North Korea. Mike Pompeo is the one taking care of this North Korea thing. But Gina Haskell is a lifetime CIA.
By the way, I need to
lifetime
throw
spy.
this in.
Go ahead, baby.
Mike Pompeo was CIA director when he met with little rocket man, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, and he's meeting with him all this week.
A previous podcast said that Mike Pompeo was Secretary of State. So I was mistaken.
Well, he's Secretary of State now. I mean, yeah.
Is he now?
Yeah, now he's Secretary of State.
I watch so little news, Al.
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea
That's why
on.
he's negotiating. Now, he's the top diplomat. So he did meet with him probably when he was CIA director, and he's meeting with him now as our top diplomat.
Well, before we get into anything political, let's talk about something fun.
I mean, go ahead, man.
Let's talk about
Israel and Iran bombing
let's talk
each other.
about
That's
electricity.
fun. Oh my God, go baby! You're just the whole energy thing.
All right, so we're going to talk about electricity. Now, I don't know where all three of you that listen to this fucking show live.
Hi, Dave.
I don't know what but if I want you to look, if you get an
I'll tell you
electric
right now,
bill,
Tennessee, Plymouth, and Munson. That's the three. That's where they live.
if you get a fucking electric bill, I want you to open it up. And the power company does this on purpose. You'll see a whole bunch of numbers that add up to your kilowatt hour charge. Okay? You'll see a lot of numbers, and they start with like 0.0023, and there's a little tax, and there's a delivery charge, there's a generation charge, and then there's several other little things, or at least there is in Massachusetts. There's about 6 things, and if you add those up, that'll tell you how much you pay per kilowatt hour. In Plymouth, Mass, right now, we pay 22 cents a kilowatt hour to a company called Eversource. Eversource is the power company now for New England. Now,
And it took over from
several years ago, let's say
Blah.
5 years ago, our utility company was NStar. And NStar was regional, might have been through the state, but it wasn't.
It wasn't multi-state.
It wasn't all of New England. Eversource is now all of New England.
Yeah, and parts of other states, correct? Like National
Could
Grid.
be.
Like National Grid is all over
Could
the place.
be.
Yeah.
And then before that, it was Com Electric,
I'll
which
look
was
that up.
like Com Electric compared to Eversource was like a mom and pop shop.
Oh,
So- And so each time we went from Com Electric to NStar to Eversource, each time that our electric utility merges with another utility, the service goes fucking down to shit and the electric rates go up. And I believe what happens is, because I've never dug up enough to find out what one of these mergers actually entail, but I guarantee you, every time one of these things fucking goes through, like they'll borrow an extra $1 billion to split up between 8 fucking guys, and they run away with the fucking money.
It's
not publicly telling you.
traded, Eversource?
Eversource is publicly traded, I believe.
It is just in New England, by the way, and
But it's all of New England, I'm pretty sure.
No, I got it right here.
So at
most
any
of
rate-
New Hampshire, parts of fucking Massachusetts, basically all of Connecticut. That's it. Oh, and a real small sliver of Rhode Island. No Maine, no Vermont.
So here's the deal. I have to deal with the utility companies. Not only do I have to pay the bill, but I also have to, because I build houses, I have to deal with the utility company because, I need, in a recent case, I needed some poles. So what you do is you get the ball rolling, you call somebody up, you get it rolling, and for about 3 months, I called every week, and I always start off nice. See, you get,
And then you end up torturing
you
people.
always do get more bees with honey than you do with salt. Is that the saying? Do you get more bees with
than
honey
you do with vinegar. But, you
with
know.
vinegar?
Yeah, you get more with honey than you get with vinegar. Vinegar being, you know, sour and bitter.
I don't know why
Honey
anybody
being
would want
sweet.
more bees, but whatever
What
the
we want
fucking
is-
saying. So you always start off,
You
treat
are fucking
everybody
witty.
with respect and the way that you would want to be treated, and that's the way you always should start. But after 3 months, and I couldn't get all I'm trying to do is get a meeting out on site to find out how much it's going to cost
Yeah.
for these fucking utility poles. I decided that it was time to get downright fucking nasty. Nasty. So I made a lot of phone calls, and I called a very high executive at Eversource.
You mean high ranking. He wasn't like sitting around smoking pot or something. He was high ranking.
No, he was a high-ranking executive at Eversource. I called. Somehow I got his cell phone number. I called him, told him things like, I hope his kids are on fire.
Swear in it or but that hurts.
Right.
You are an overpaid, incompetent scum. You sucked a cock to climb the corporate ladder, and now you're fucking up a monopoly, otherwise known as a free lunch. You're a fucking loser. And as a side note, I hope your wife and kids get cancer and fucking die, and you get to watch them wither away.
That's terrible.
Fuck you and please die, Joe Beep. P.S. Oh, and fuck all your kids, too.
So, Jim is a high-level executive at Eversource. We can't say what executive, and my lawyer would be throwing up right now if I... So I got
I got to say, that's an excellent letter, Joe.
What wasn't my attorney, who may listen to this show or may not, who's probably throwing away all of my contact information as we speak, or once this airs.
Nah, he knows you're good for the money, so.
So he told me this was one of the top. It's in the top 3 letters he's ever seen from one of his clients.
I got to say, by the way, your grammar has gotten better, your spelling is better, or you're paying attention to spell check, probably. But your grammar is pretty good.
Yeah, I usually
You're right
spell.
there. Huh?
I usually spell okay because of spell check.
Yeah, right. But you can tell when you're not paying attention. Like I got your Scalia essay. I kept that. I don't know if I told you that. I have that. That's in my personal papers with my will.
Did I make a Scalia essay?
Yeah, you have an essay on Scalia, and it's a wonderful, wonderful essay. And if you don't remember it, I'll get it because I just moved, so I know what's in my personal dossier. And that was a wonderful piece you wrote. And up until just now, I thought that was the best thing you ever wrote. But that's pretty good right there.
The lawyer really liked it.
Yeah.
And it got me a 1-year harassment prevention order from said high-level executive
No
at Eversource.
fucking shit.
Yes.
Like, how does that get delivered? Does that get delivered by a sheriff or a
Well,
deputy or whatever? Or a paper server? How do you find out about that?
It's in Suffolk County, so it's in a different county. It's up by Boston.
How do you get notified that that's
The police bring it to you.
the local cops?
Yeah.
Was it anyone you knew? Was it a kid?
No, but somebody has to run this. You got to understand. This guy must have been so fucking rattled because it's not like the courthouse is right down the street. Somebody had to fucking courier this fucker right down to the Plymouth police to have it served from Boston. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Somebody came from the Middlesex County Courthouse or the Sheriff's Department and came to our
Well, it's not
police
Middlesex,
station.
It's Suffolk
Oh, I'm
County.
sorry, Suffolk.
So somebody had to bring this down. And we're not talking a public employee. We're talking about somebody from Eversource said, "Bring this down now."
Yeah.
And I couldn't make it to the hearing, and my lawyer Dave says that I was entitled to they call it a 10-day date, meaning, look, I got the thing at 9:30 at night. It said be at court at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but it's an order of protection, you said?
All right.
Yeah, so who cares? You don't have to get that rescinded.
No. But what I'm saying is, I called, and the judge would not allow. Like, I wanted to reschedule this
Oh, okay.
so that I could bring an attorney, and he would not allow it. Now, after the fact, I just said, "Fuck it. I don't really care. I'm never going to see this person. I'm not going to, I have no intention."
You're never going to run into this person, and why pay your lawyer?
Yeah, it's just
I mean, other than for entertainment purposes.
so.
Dave
2
must
days
love
after
you.
this,
Yeah.
so this all happened on a Sunday when I wrote this and sent it.
I'm sorry, did you send it via electronic mail?
No, I sent it in snail mail.
Okay.
But I had made some calls down to the local barn down here that weren't flattering. And 2
The
days
Eversource
later,
barn?
Yeah, I had a meeting.
I didn't even know you could get a
for,
direct line into that place.
Well, if you keep going, if you have a number that gets to somebody at Eversource, all you do is you keep going up and down. Like, say it's 4244, the number that you have, you try 4243, 4242, 4241. And eventually someone will answer. Then you call them a cocksucker, and then you keep calling them a cocksucker after they hang up. So I had a meeting on Tuesday after I did this on a Sunday with the Eversource folks.
Had the fucking thing got to where it was going?
No, this actually took a little longer.
That's what I thought. All right, so now you're having your meeting
Yeah,
on site.
Right. So I finally got, after 3 months of being nice, one day of fucking being evil, I had a meeting.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease,
And
right?
you should never start off evil. And the guy said to me, "Well, there was no need for that." And I said, "You're fucking here 2 days later, aren't you?"
Right. And I would have never got you here.
So then,
What are you theorizing that the problem was getting there?
nobody gives a fuck.
They just don't care.
I don't think anybody answers to anybody. I think the management's weak. I think it
was like that when they were N-Star too, by the way.
Yeah, they suck.
Because N-Star was who
There's nobody going, "All right, what do we got here for work? How are we going to fucking finish this? How are we going to get it done?
Yeah.
What do you got, Ed? What do you got, Sally? What do you got?" There's nobody that care. Nobody gives a fuck.
Do you think that towns like Middleborough that have their own power, like when you live in Middleborough, the town of Middleborough is your utility. Do you think that theoretically is probably better than Eversource? It's got to be, right? Service-wise?
Probably
Nirvana?
1,000 times better.
Yeah, it's got to be. It might be a little bit more, though, right?
Small municipal electric services used to be the way it was in this country.
Do you remember if Plymouth ever had it? Because I remember Com Electric, but I think there was something between Com Electric and Star, and there was like 2 or 3 things before Com Electric over in that shed you're talking about.
The answer is I don't know.
You don't remember, yeah.
I remember Com Electric, but Com Electric was wonderful to deal with.
Yeah, and before that it was called like we can look. I'll look it up after when you go on your next rant.
You know what?
I think it was like Mass Electric and Light or something like that.
There was like a New Bedford Gas and Electric.
There might still be. New Bedford might have its own utility still.
Let's put it this way. This power line that's out here next to my house is, if you go and look at the easement, the old easement is like I want to say it's it's an old Boston Edison.
Yeah, Boston
easement.
Edison. Yeah, Boston Edison used to fucking have the.
So
yeah, all right.
Com Electric Boston Edison might have been here before Carmel.
I believe you're right. Or briefly in between. I don't remember. It could be in between. I'll look up the history of it on the break.
I mean, it's kind of
an interesting history. It's kind of like with the phone companies almost, or you can like follow the chain of a bank's. So out there, that goes with everything. So now that's EverSource out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so EverSource owns that now because they own all that shit out there.
It was N-Star before.
Right. Okay. So that's that power out there. It's not like it's fucking going to people with National Grid or whatever. Although they probably all borrow from each other. I have no idea how all that shit works. That's got to be another. You got to have a degree in electrical engineering to understand all that. You know what I mean? By the way, speaking of energy and electricity and heating and cooling, that warm snap last week, man. That house I live in now is wonderful. Like I told you, as the crow flies, I'm like 400 yards from the ocean, like from a beach, and the breeze that flows through that place is beautiful. But that motherfucker is not insulated at all correctly, because when I get home at 6:30, 7 o'clock, when it's 85 out during the day, that fucking house is hot, son. Doesn't matter if the windows are open or whatever. I'm going to be cranking the fucking wall rattlers this fucking summer. I'm sure, and the place is cavernous. It's fucking cavernous, so I'm sure it's going to be crazy. I don't care, though. Rent's cheaper, and fuck it. You know what I mean? I actually have extra money for shit like paying a higher fucking electrical bill, so that's kind of nice. After that whole rant I went on last time about, I'm going to need another job.
Have you noticed it's cold in here?
My nipples are hard, son.
It's fucking
and
cold.
And it's not just because you just whipped your cock out and took a piss. But
it's not because I'm sitting here naked.
So this folds even. This wasn't on the list, but I just wanted to tell you something. I know I told you last week. We finally figured out what these fucking jobs cost. In less than 3 weeks' time, we've sold $580,000 worth of work.
Yeah,
that's pretty good for a painting office. That's not bad.
Yeah, especially a new paint.
$30,000 and $60,000 paint jobs are hard to come by. Never mind $150,000 and $114,000 or $200,000. You know what I mean? So today, in one day, after all that success, granted we didn't get any contracts back. It just goes to show you it doesn't matter till you got the contract. I sold a $114,000 job with $70,000 worth of fucking wall covering and $45,000 or $44,000 worth of fucking paint.
This is the one with the whiteboard?
They called today and said, "Oh, we're not doing the wall covering." Howard got the call, not me, because they know that I'm the one who did the takeoff.
Meaning the whiteboard shit.
Yeah. So, and then I went and they said, "So we're gonna just send you a contract because they made me break out the two prices." Well, guess what? That was a package price. That is nothing. That in good faith, I negotiated a package.
Right.
That paint price no longer stands. It was at 44 and change.
Well, you got to paint.
It's gonna be 49 now. It's gonna be 49 now, and I'm gonna try to suck another $5 out of you for my time.
Well, because you got to paint where the wall covering was now, right?
No, what they're doing is they're gonna get the full length. Ceiling to floor fucking boards that you fucking hang. I was priming it anyway.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter.
Hey, don't they have paint? Don't they have the fucking erasable marker?
Yeah,
paint?
I gave them an estimate for that too. And it's magnetic because you can put the magnetic primer on and then the fucking idea paint over it.
What were you telling me that was $40 a square foot?
The shit that you hang like wallpaper that's magnetic and dry erasable. Installed, it's $40 a square foot.
Square foot?
Yeah, not a yard, a foot.
So what does the magnetism have to do with the...
All it is you can put a magnetic chalk tray, not chalk tray, marker tray on the board, because that was another thing.
All right. It doesn't have any...
I was buying him 60 marker trays.
Meaning, what is the fucking difference? what is not in the erasable marker that's in the Sharpie, or vice versa? What makes it so you can fucking erase it?
Well, I think there's extra. No, it's different. It's the exact opposite. There's extra shit in the permanent marker than there isn't in the erasable shit.
So what is the erasable marker? It's just fucking.
It's water. It's
water
like,
and food
like,
coloring or something.
It's exactly it. It's water based, and it doesn't run because the board is dry. It's not moist, but it's the same fucking thing as the difference between watercolors and oils. If you're a painter. Like a picture painter.
Gotcha.
Or latex or alkyd if you're a house painter. It's the same fucking difference. It's just water-based.
Okay.
And then whatever the substrate is that you're writing on, that is tacky enough that it doesn't allow it to run, and you're able to dry erase it, because when it hits it, it atomizes the shit.
Yeah.
And it makes it stick, but if you were to look at it with a microscope, it looks like puffs of pollen, like just big powdery puffs of shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm interested in shit like that.
Yeah.
Because I like to know how stuff works.
It's science, which is fun, and it's numbers also, which is fun. The numbers is what intrigues me. So, by the way, last time we met, I was saying I was fed up, and I'm still kind of fed up, but it gets addicting doing the deals. So today, they took back the vinyl, the wall covering, and Howard was like, oh, okay, we'll send us a contract. I'm like, yo, that 44 fucking 592 doesn't stick by itself for painting. You got to get that shit back up to 50 grand. You know what I mean? Because the cushion, we were just making a VIG. Literally a VIG for the wall covering. We were going to buy it, give it to a sub to hang it, mark up, and he gets $75 an hour. We were marking his shit up 27.5, 10% fucking overhead, and 16% equals 26. But when you take it and then you do the 10% to that number and then 16 to that, it's 27.5%.
Got you.
Technically, we're getting 27.5% interest to pay for the material up front. And it works for them because they don't have to the GC doesn't have to fucking put out the money up front. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's all you would figure that they don't care, but they do. And as a builder, you know the deal. You know what I mean? That's the less money you have to carry and put out in your own capital, the less interest you're paying out of your bottom line. It's a write-off if they let us carry it, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Now, you were sick of the commute.
Yeah, I'm still sick of the commute, but I found a new way home today that's only about 5 minutes longer, but it's a different look, and it's a drive through the thick woods of Freetown, Rochester, Wareham, Carver, and eventually Plymouth. And rather than going the highway out to 105 in Middleborough and then going through Middleborough and Lakeville and then up to 140, I found a back roads route that's actually more direct.
So you think that would be better for you? You'd like that better?
I think there's literally 5 or 6 different routes I can take, and I'm going to start taking different routes to interest me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even though I've been on most of those roads, that road in Freetown I've only been on once or twice, but still, every road that I went on this new route today was, and the only reason I went is because I found a Circle K off the exit on 140 before my office that has gas, Slim Jims, Coca-Cola, Fireball, and vodka.
No shit, they got
it's a
Fireball?
Circle K in a fucking gas station.
Oh, I know where you are. You know what?
Circle K, 140, exit 8, Chase Road, Freetown.
Oh, you know what?
And then you get on 18.
Have you ever done like the way Bill goes home to a Cushnet, and you go down?
He's Mendel Road in a Cushnet.
But he goes country way. So you go down
county road in
County Road.
Yeah. And then you take a right.
So instead of you go over 495. Is it 495 or 24 or whatever the fuck it is?
Still 495 there. It's not 25.
You go over it. You
Yeah.
cross 28.
Yeah.
You keep going.
Yeah.
You get to the fucking little rat store on the corner.
That's Adrian's, and you take a right.
Take a right.
Mary's Pond Road.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then Bill gets
You go
home,
straight.
though. You don't want to drive that road drunk because you go through like 18 towns.
Yeah, and it's weird. It
all
turns
of which
into
have a cop on every fucking.
It goes from a double fucking yellow fucking line road to a fucking subdivision almost. It's weird. Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're in a subdivision.
The speed limit's 11.
Yeah, right,
the whole
right.
way.
No, I've gone that way. Well,
It's a nightmare.
I've gone that way because I did work at Bill's house, as you know, 15 years ago after the fire.
Right.
Was that 15 years ago already? I think it was. That was a great job.
The air conditioner caught on fire.
I gotta say, he did me a solid. He's
Is
like,
that 15 years ago?
he goes,
No.
the insurance is paying for this. He goes, don't charge me what you would charge me. Give me a fucking proposal, and whatever you say it is. I go, do you want some money back, a kickback? He goes, nope. He goes, I want you to make some money.
You should have fucking made him take some. What's wrong with you? You know Bill.
He didn't. He did me a solid. And then when you built him the addition, I got that too, but that was from you. Although
Bill
wasn't the
is,
addition before the fire?
One of the world's best people.
He's the nicest guy I've ever met. I gotta say.
I love him.
He's hard to
Dead.
read though. It's like it's hard to tell when he's just like us in respect with the partying and having fun, but it seems like he suffers bullshit less well than we do. Like he doesn't suffer fools very well, and sometimes I feel like I'm a fool around him, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Bill. I know you're kind of a serious guy, but
He's not
he is a serious guy.
I understand what you're saying
Yeah.
because I've known him so much longer
Yeah, you know
than
him.
you.
Well, yeah,
It's
I mean,
enough so that I get it.
yeah.
And
I have known him for over 20 years. I mean, I know you've known him for 35 years or whatever. Probably for closer to 40. Jesus.
we met when we were 16. So it'll
29 years.
no, it's
39
39 years.
Holy shit. I was right. 40 years. All right.
So it's pushing 40 years.
Jesus Christ.
So we weren't even friends all the way through high school. I mean, we met in high school. We both worked at the fucking Purity Supreme
Right.
grocery store.
Right.
So the thing about Bill is the best judge of character I have ever met in my life.
Okay.
You'll meet a guy who you think is a really decent guy. And when I say you, I mean, I've
Somebody.
met people that I thought, hey, this guy's a really good guy. You know, I've spent some time with him. He's not doesn't seem to be an asshole.
And Bill will be like, he's a cunt.
And turns out he's a fucking cunt.
Yeah.
And he's never been wrong.
Yeah.
He'll go, something fucking off on that guy.
Yeah.
And he's never.
And I've heard him say that,
never
too.
been fucking wrong.
That's crazy.
He has this like fucking sixth sense, and he picks up on some vibration or something.
Yeah.
And there's people that can do that, you know, and he can do it, and he knows.
Yeah.
They're looking for something, or
I wonder if he thinks
You
I'm a
don't remember-
cunt.
no. I think he likes
He might.
you a lot.
You think?
Yeah, because
don't
you're
know,
not.
man.
You know what it is? He's also. It's funny, you know. You would think that it would be the other way around. He's very protective of me. Now I'm very protective of him, but he'll know if this guy, all this fuck wants is to use you. He's either going to get some money out of you, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And I'll go, no, you're wrong, Bill. And like fucking a year later,
He's right.
motherfucker was just trying to get some money out of me.
Yeah.
You know, or I don't know. It's
Well, it's a good gift. We've talked about him before. He's the guy with the fucking loaf of bread and peanut butter and jelly in the back seat of the car because that's what he's eating that week. And
well, I mean,
he's got kids and
he saves like I've never seen anybody save.
That's
before.
awesome.
And he does it for his children.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, he loves those fucking kids.
Now,
he may be the world's greatest human being.
he's a great guy. I forget, and forgive me, but does his wife live in the house still, or is that far over? I know there was trouble in paradise, but
yeah, she's around.
she's around.
It's like this whole, and I'm not gonna because
Yeah.
we're not gonna talk about.
No, I know.
But
Do they all have the same address on their driver's licenses?
pretty much all of his kids are still home.
But I mean, him and the wife still have the same address on their driver's license.
Yeah.
All right.
And I believe, I'm going to say this, if Bill or Heather were listening, Heather being his wife, that they wouldn't be. I think the deal is when the youngest child, which is Camden, turns 18 or 19 or so, that's when they can
Call it quits.
call it a day.
How old is Camden now?
Cam's about 14.
Oh, all right. They got a little while to go. See, I thought I would make it till my youngest was 18. It just wasn't working out.
Well, he
Thought I could make it. So he's a better man than me. We'll put it
It's
that
so
way.
important for him,
Yeah.
for his kids to have, and they don't
Well,
fight.
his kids got to. Oh, they don't fight, but his kids got to know that they're not
They-
into each other.
They
at the very least.
they absolutely know,
Yeah.
and he explains it to him, and I believe Heather explains it to him because Heather's not an evil person.
No.
His wife is not an evil person. They just, it's like two people got together, had some kids, fell out of love,
Yeah.
and are trying to figure out what do we do with these children, and at the same time, not kill one another.
What is it? 4 of them? 4 kids? Yeah.
And the thing in the freezer too, please. Yeah, there's 4 kids.
Yeah.
And they're all great kids.
Ranging from 24 to 14 or something.
Jesus, is Gabby 24?
I don't know. Yeah, she might be close to that.
He's got his daughter Jillian. Jillian is going to Rhode Island College,
Okay.
and she was staying at the college, but she didn't want to because probably because of me, because I tell everybody, make your kid live at college because that's my
It's the experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it there. And the reason is because everybody drinks and gets drunk and parties.
Sounds like
she
college.
likes to study.
Yeah. Well,
And
same with
you
my
know what?
daughter, but she became an RA. She became a
So-
narc.
I said, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
If like the kid, she's not she's not like a bookworm or anything, but
Right.
she doesn't want to be in that environment
Right.
where everybody's drinking all the time. And I think it's, Al, I got to say, I think it's worse now than when we were there.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
how is that fucking possible, man?
You know why? Because
I mean,
think
we
about it.
literally were swimming in fucking pools of beer in college,
Yeah, you know what?
bathing in it.
How fucking regimented are a lot of kids' lives now?
Well, very, because they're so busy, and their parents keep them. They're too busy. So yeah, by definition, they're
Okay.
regimented.
So
Because you got karate on Tuesdays, you got t-ball on Mondays, you got fucking
fucking
soccer
play
on.
dates.
You got play dates, you got this, you got that,
when we were,
and then forget when they get in
We're
school,
only four- I'm
and they're
only
getting
4 years older than
fucking tons of homework when they're 3.
I was, get the fuck out of the house.
Yeah.
You got the day off.
Yeah, we talk about that a
Come
lot.
back around dinner.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'll feed you. And if, you want some milk in between, come on home and then get the fuck back out.
And when I get a little
Oh,
older,
come
it
here.
was like,
Take this bag of trash out.
did you
asshole.
drink beer tonight? Only a couple. Oh, be careful with that shit. Now it's like there are some parents that are still like parents of, well, still, are, I would say, reasonable. And I think Bill's one of them.
Yeah.
And then there's the parents that are off the fucking rails. And
It's not easy, man.
when
The
I
helicopter
called my
mom.
daughter, when she was at UMass Dartmouth, I said, hey, is there a lot of drinking going on down there?
Oh, my God.
She goes, Dad, there's somebody, this is like a Thursday.
There's somebody dying of alcohol
There's
poisoning
somebody in the
every
hallway,
day.
in the stairwell right now throwing up.
Yeah.
And she's like, all the kids whose parents were fucking, just watching wherever they went, those are the kids that go off the fucking rails.
Yeah.
And that really wasn't, there weren't any kids like that when I went to college. Most parents were sort of, you made sure your kid was okay, but you didn't like plan every fucking second that they're awake
Right.
like they do now. So I just think that, it's fucked. It's fucked the way it is now.
What? With the excess partying?
No, I think it's fucked the way people are raising their kids.
Oh, well.
Like, let your kid go fucking play.
Yeah, there's none of that. Because
But then
that's
again,
the other
there's
thing.
no other kid for them to play with.
I
'Cause
know.
they're all fucking.
And they're all fucking, if they do get together, they're playing video games. And you know what? I played video games as a kid. I don't play them as an adult. Thank Christ. Neither of my kids were ever into the video game thing. Although Evan, because he's an accumulator like me, but he's also been making his own money since he's 13, he owns every game console, but he never plays them. He just likes to have the stuff. You know what I mean?
I can't, I'm not going to be one
He's
of these people
bad.
that goes,
By the way, you're really bad at video
know,
games, Evan. I let you win fucking soccer, by the way.
when I grew up, Al, it was the fucking good old days. Now it's all fucked up. I will say, though, I played 0 organized sports.
Yeah.
I played more fucking sports than most people ever played.
Well, you guys had that wonderful sand lot down the bottom of your driveway,
played-
down the street.
We had a fucking baseball diamond
Yeah, I remember.
over in Shenandoah. We had a fucking,
Oh, yeah, there too,
we had
yeah.
a guy, an old guy, who had this huge fucking driveway. We played street hockey.
Yeah.
We played football.
There was probably a
In the
hoop or
sand
2
lot.
or 3, too.
Very little basketball.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
We
know
did that
why.
in our neighborhood. We
We
played
did
tons of basketball.
Football, street hockey,
Street
ice
hockey and driveways.
We used to
didn't do
rent
ice
the
hockey.
rink.
Well, you guys must have been able to skate on them ponds. You get 2,
We
3
could
ponds
skate on the ponds, but we'd also rent the rink out too.
over at Armstrong?
Yeah,
No shit.
and a whole shitload of us would go and we just beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. I wasn't a very good skater. I could only play goalie.
So football, baseball. Baseball was huge.
Yeah, we love
played a
baseball.
Fucking shitload of baseball.
I think
was
I
a
remember
pretty
doing
good
some
hitter.
box. I remember
I was
doing
a
boxing.
Pretty good, we boxed.
I remember doing boxing down your house with real gloves and tried to do it official.
We lifted weights.
Lifted weights.
Yes.
Definitely weightlifting. I remember my dad gave you a weightlifting
I got rid of a
book.
bully after I started lifting weights.
I remember my dad gave you a weightlifting book. Do you remember that?
I don't, but
Because
I believe you
when
did.
when we all met, he was just coming off weight train. He trained with weights, throughout most of his late 20s and early 30s. It's probably why he's healthy as a fucking horse now.
for the 99-pound guy I started lifting weights and I got up to like 110 pounds.
He probably got up to 150.
And then the guy that was 2 years older than me gave me some shit, and I just said, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh.
And
And you crushed
was-
his head for him?
no, I didn't crush him at all. He just,
Back down.
he was a bully.
Yeah. That's what bullies do. They back down. You got to confront
But
the
he
bullies,
tortured
man.
me for fucking like 5 years before that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His name was Graydon, and he lived right down the street.
His first name was Graydon?
Graydon.
How did I never meet this guy? I would remember that.
And his whole
By the way, there's our president, triumphant.
his
having a
family
good
was
week.
from Colorado. And now this is a horrible thing. I don't wish this on anybody. They moved back to Colorado there was a younger son, Barry, I used to hang out with.
Okay.
And Graydon was 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
And you know how when you're in fucking 5th grade and somebody's in 7th, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they got in a car accident. Barry died.
Oh.
Graydon's fucking retarded.
Oh, shit. That sucks.
And this happened 20 years ago. You know, they moved. They. I think I was still living at home when they moved.
Well, then, that sucks.
And I heard that, and I'm like,
It's not a happy ending.
part of me was like, I'm glad Graydon's fucked up, but Barry dying was terrible because he was a nice kid, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, and of course I don't wish that Graydon is fucking brain damaged or whatever the hell happened to him. But
By the way, how good a week is my hero,
he
Donald
got the
Trump,
3 prisoners released, right?
He met them at fucking the joint fucking base, Andrews, the fucking, what is that, a joint Army and Air Force base or Navy? I don't know, whatever. And they arrived. By the way,
Look,
those guys are like ministers and fucking charity workers and healthcare workers, and they got fucking detained by those fucking, this is how scared the little fucking Rocket Man is right now.
Rocket Man is not wanting to have.
He's pretty sure Mike Pompeo has been driving into this kid's head that Donald Trump
Is fucking nuts.
he's nuts and he'll fuck with you.
It's not that he's nuts. He ain't Barack Obama.
Right.
He ain't George W.
He
Bush.
certainly ain't Hillary Clinton.
He ain't Hillary Clinton. He ain't Bill
He
Clinton.
ain't Bill Clinton either.
Trump does not give a fuck. How do I say this? Trump's not going to sit there and watch the poll numbers. If there's an enemy that needs to be fucking destroyed to save the United States.
Right.
And I think Little Rocket Man understands this
Right.
because,
Or at least his people do.
or maybe his people get it.
I think his
I don't
people
think
get
this
it.
guy's fucking around, Little Rocket Man.
I mean, is it possible that Kim Jong-un is, that's his name, right? Is it
Un.
Is it possible that he is a smart guy and is making these decisions on his own, or does he lean on? They all lean on advisors. You have to, not just leaders. Everybody in life has their confidants and their advisors. But it does. I think that what's going on right now, I think it shows that this kid actually gets it. I think he gets it.
Well, Al, my years living in a dictator family have been few. But no, of course the guy's not an idiot.
Right.
And he's not crazy either.
No. His father might have been, though.
No, I don't think any of them
His
are
grandfather
crazy.
wasn't. I think his father might have been a little
I think
nuts.
they're
I mean, he did. Isn't it pretty
inarguable
that he fed his uncle to some dogs and shit?
I have not read the
I mean, who
scholarly-
among us hasn't wanted to feed a family member to a dog? But
Well, they've all, including Un, has killed a few family members that were acting, out
That's
of
what I'm
fucking
saying.
sorts. But I guess that's just part of the deal.
I mean, if you're the supreme leader, I guess that's just one of the perks.
Well, he's a deity.
Well, like we
He's
always,
not just supreme. He's a fucking deity.
he's also shot like a 49 on the golf course, according to local Korean lore, by the way.
Yes.
Like the best that you could possibly shoot is a 58 or a 59, and that's if you really had a
He shot a 49 on 36 holes.
Yeah, right. You got a hole in one on most of the holes, dude.
No, I mean, I don't, who knows?
And drove every green.
I don't know if I said it here. I must have. But I've said it. It's insane to think that this exists in 2018.
What exists? Oh, his country?
This country.
That regime or
There's
whatever?
23 million people in
There's
this
gotta be-
fucking country. They don't have any TV, or they have no idea what's going on in the outside world. None.
I know. It's crazy. There's got to be other
They got
groups
no
of people.
idea.
I know. It's bizarre when you think about it because it's
it's pretty fucking strange.
because Pyongyang, in between his grandfather and father's regime, was becoming a modern Asian cosmopolitan type place, and then something happened. They just fucking boom.
Now, I'll give Trump all the credit in the world, but the other side of this coin is maybe and this is a big maybe, was just kind of getting tired of the whole, like, being cut off from the rest of the fucking world. Maybe it's getting a little boring.
Well, maybe
it's time to, like, you know what? We'll get rid of all these fucking nukes. You promise not to come in here and overthrow me. I can torture all my people if I want to.
And to be honest with you,
let me buy food. And
the South Koreans and North Koreans are still all basically the same people. They're all related. And he probably sees all that wonderful fucking manufacturing going on in Korea right now.
He knows what's going on in South Korea.
Yeah,
he
and
knows
it's
what's
wonderful
going on
there.
In the rest of the world.
Yeah,
He's gotta
yeah.
be looking around, going,
We got to get some shit going on.
there's not really a lot going on here except me being dictator.
Yeah. Let's get some shit going
Everybody's
on.
starving, and
Well, I don't know if I mean, I don't. Is that a fact? Is that a thing there?
there are people that starve to death there in the wintertime.
I mean, I guess that's true everywhere, but
Well, and they have
an inordinate amount of people are
they
fucking.
have prison camps where they
I
send
saw that
whole
too. Yeah.
families, and they starve them there or feed them.
Did you see that they announced
Here's a
today?
nice fresh bowl of dog shit for you.
Did you see that they announced today that the summit's going to be in Singapore, June 12th? That's official.
So is going to meet Trump in Singapore.
In Singapore, June 12th. That's not too far away. I'll be on vacation. You know where I'll be on vacation that day? In
Watching
front of the
TV.
TV. I'm sorry, baby. We ain't going to Universal today or Disney. I'm sorry, baby.
You doing a little Orlando?
Yeah, we're staying at my parents' the unit that they own, and it's wonderful.
I'm so glad it's you and not me.
Why?
Going.
Why? I'm going to be in air conditioning, and I got 4 pools to swim in, and I'm going to go to Walmart and buy groceries and 5 cases of beer, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do.
My daughter
We're not even renting a car, Joe. I'm not even renting a car.
in Greece.
I'm Uber. Oh, no, she's got a friend picking us up at the airport, and anywhere I need to go, I'm going to Uber. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to Disney one day and Universal one day.
It's just me getting like old, and I'm becoming more of a curmudgeon.
Yeah, but see, you go to Florida to see your buddies. Granted, it's not Orlando, but it ain't that fucking far away. It's as the crow flies. It's an hour and a half away wherever you go.
Yeah, but I go to see buddies.
I know you go to see buddies, but what I'm saying is you at least. You regularly, not like you schedule it, like it's not like you go, I have to go away 4 times a year. You go away a couple times a year.
Usually by
I don't
myself.
ever go away. I went to San Diego over a year ago, but that was, as you know, on an errand.
Well, it was for me.
And I had fun. Don't
go
get me wrong,
find
but it
my
wasn't vacation.
Fucking nephew.
And
Wherever
I went
the
to
hell he is.
And I went to fucking Austria like 7 years ago before in my previous life. I haven't been away in years. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here and get to fucking Orlando. As desolate and
You're
awful
a
as that
European
sounds.
traveler.
I've been to Europe 12 times. 12 times since
I've never been to
1987.
So
I was
my
in Europe
daughter was
before
in
my
Europe
kids were born. Recently?
for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Where did she go?
She went to Barcelona.
Oh, my God.
Then she went to Santorini.
Where did she get all this money?
Then she went to France.
That's not a cheap vacation, son.
No. She gets the money by I pay.
I know she makes good dough. I'm sorry.
I pay for the first and last security.
My turn to pee. Go ahead.
First, last, and security on all of the places that she rents. Yeah. Which adds up to like 20 grand.
Yeah, well.
And she doesn't pay me back.
You're a good dad.
And so because I said, when she was announced this trip, I said, so does this mean that I'm not getting any of the first, last, or security deposit from any of the places?
And she went, what do you mean?
She's like, you'll get it someday, Dad.
No, I won't.
But she sent me this beautiful picture.
In Barcelona?
No, this was actually in Greece, in Santorini. A bunch of, like, houses built on the cliffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it like you could jump out of the fucking window and you go right down into the drink.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So
Beautiful, beautiful place.
yeah, and it looked fabulous. And I said, Jesus, that is beautiful. And if you want to commit suicide, very convenient. And she was like, you asshole. Dad, you're being an asshole. So I just don't. And then I think I said, better you than me. Oh, no. She sent me a picture of her and her friend Pam that she went with, which is also a roommate. And they had a picture of, somebody took a picture of them. And they were quite a ways away, but they were in front of the Eiffel Tower because you could see the entire Eiffel Tower behind them.
Oh, wow.
And I said, better you than me, honey.
Yeah. Did she say...
Looks just like it looks like on the fucking TV.
Have you had a conversation with her? Like, did she like Greece better than Paris or whatever? I mean, she must have. I mean, like, Paris has got to be awful, right? It's got to be awful.
Yeah, it's probably fucking terrible.
I never want to go
Probably
to Paris.
terrorists
I would go to
running
Rome
around.
before Paris. My
Plus, all
son
those
just...
French cocksuckers hate Americans anyway.
Well, I mean...
Who is this fucking...
That's the
recalcitrant?
That's the Indiana Republican Senate candidate right now.
He looks like he's molested at least 10 boys
Well, I mean,
this week.
and I like the whole now the fucking all the Republicans.
You know, Trump's looking at him going,
The Republicans-
why the fuck doesn't this guy do something with his hair?
By the way, Donald Trump looks like the president of the United States. That other guy,
He is the president of the United
that's what I'm
States.
saying. He looks like the president of the United States. Power fucking blue suit, red tie. The other guy, now the
And a
Republican.
fucking handsome head of hair.
Yep.
Look at that head of hair.
And the Republican thing now is what that guy's doing. No tie, no jacket. You know what I
He
mean?
needs to do something with that fucking head.
He can't do anything with that head.
No, he's got like
He's
that
the only one-
swirly piece of fucking hair in the front
You know what?
there.
You gotta let
shave that off.
listen.
You gotta fucking shave
Listen,
it all down.
it's
shave it down.
It's all part of letting Donald do Donald. You know what I mean?
Or or do what Trump does. Grow the sides of your hair out 14 feet and fucking wrap it around your head like
Oh,
a
you were
turban.
talking about the other guy. I thought you were talking about Donald.
No,
Don-
Trump's,
you don't want
hair's
Don-
fine.
Yeah, it looks good, right? I mean,
No,
he
no,
does.
It doesn't look good, but it looks.
Yeah, but it's his fucking
it's
hair.
him.
It's him, right?
That's fucking 100%
That's Donald.
Trump right
and,
there.
And by the way,
Talk about branding.
it's coming a
That's
little.
his fucking
It's coming
hair.
a little unfurled. They must be like in an airport hangar or outside or something. He's fucking
He
doing.
must not have used enough product.
Yeah. You know he's fucking. You know he'll. If you would
There's
have
a lot of fucking product.
if you would have a
there.
one-on-one with him, he will tell you exact. If you go, Donald, what's up? What's the products? He'll tell you. I bet you that's a
course he
daily
will.
regimen of product.
He wasn't even. He was talking about global warming and like, I can't even put the fucking hairspray in my hair now.
That's too.
It's
funny.
I gotta pump the fucking stuff.
Right.
You know what? He's not embarrassed. He's fucking proud of it.
I got to tell you, they still make the aerosol shit. That's what my wife has to use, and that's what I got to use when I need to have my hair not go Bozo the Clown style.
I've never used hair product.
Yeah, I have. I actually have enough hair to style. I'm sorry, buddy. Here's the thing: even if
Sorry
you
about what?
even
My hair.
even if you had enough hair to style,
God.
you probably wouldn't style it.
You realize how little I care about my hair.
It looks good now. I like it at this length. I like it at that
this
length.
length sucks.
You think it's too long?
Yeah, you know what happens? If I take a nap,
Oh,
on
it
one
pulls.
side it all sticks down.
It pulls or
So
something.
even though it's like 3/4 of an inch long, it's too fucking
I
long.
don't know, man. I like that look because, again, I've said it before on this show. You are. I don't know any other 54-year-old blonde people. You still have blonde hair. You're not gray. You're not white. You're not brown.
I got a little gray over here, don't I?
You got a little gray, but you're blonde. You're still blonde. It's not strawberry blonde. It's not red. It's not light brown. You got blonde hair. It's crazy.
Fucking blonde.
There's not a lot of guys who still have blonde hair at 54.
True.
It's crazy. I mean,
well, maybe I'm going to fucking do this.
other than the great Donald J. Trump.
I'm going to grow it out, and I'm going to fucking cover up. I got a forehead you could show a double feature on.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean?
I don't think Patty
So
would let
I
you
think
grow
I
it
can
out.
I can grow it out and then wrap it around like a turban.
You know what? It'll probably break off before it gets long enough to do that. You just haven't grown it long forever since you were a kid.
I haven't.
I mean,
If I grew a beard, it would be fucking gray. So
look at me. I got a white beard, man. Even this shit that
and most guys our age, somewhere around our age, are gonna have a gray beard.
Yeah, you got a gray or white beard. You know what was funny
It's a
about my
deal.
old man was he wore a beard off and on until his early 40s, and he had a red beard. He was red beard. It was fucking weird.
I can imagine it.
Yeah, they called him Redbeard Al or something like that, man.
Because your father is a fucking lunatic.
Oh, really? What are you trying? You think you're telling me something I don't know?
No, I know.
I got
But
a
I
story
mean-
about my dad just from Tuesday. I could tell you but he's a lunatic.
He's a fucking loon.
I love the guy, by the way.
That's why I love him.
I can't imagine.
He's a fucking lunatic.
I cannot imagine a world without my dad in it. I just can't imagine it, and I just hope that he continues to
and I know some of it,
prosper
some
and
of
be
it's
healthy
bad
and all
some
that.
Of it's good.
No,
but he's
no,
a
no, no, no,
fucking loon.
No, he's great. My dad is great. My mother is great.
Your mother is wonderful.
They're both wonderful people. They're great. I hope my dad is gonna live to be 100. He's gonna live to be 100.
Your dad.
My mom might not, only because she's heavy. But
Let
other
me
than
tell
that,
you a
she's
little
perfect.
story.
The two of them have wonderful genetics. That's why I have perfect hair, perfect skin, and this face.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
I like to eat a little too much. And
let me tell you a story you've never heard before about your father.
come on, you know I know this story. Go ahead.
So I was in,
and then I'll tell you a story
in a
you don't know
truck.
about your mother.
I was in a truck that I borrowed, moving myself. I was bringing a guy, Joe Cromie, to Winnick, and me and Kelly Ballo were going to UMass.
Dude, of course I know this story. You've told this a million times, and I was there. I wanted to go with him. He told me I couldn't go.
So at any rate,
Go ahead.
truck fucking broke down right at exit 8 in Palmer, where everybody's something happened.
And what, you couldn't get a hold of your dad?
No, my parents went on vacation.
Oh, they were away. All right.
While I was pulling out of the driveway, they were pulling out and going on vacation.
Talking about 1981, right?
I don't know. There were a lot of parents there moving their kids in. I don't hold anything against them because I wouldn't have wanted them there because my father would have made it into a fucking horror
yeah.
show.
Who needs your father at something like that? And then your mom. Oh,
Just, it was better.
Although your mom was a good time.
But your
man.
dad came out.
I know. What do you mean? I don't know this story. Of course, I know this story.
Al's father came out.
You don't know how quickly he
Took-
beat a beeline out the fucking front
Got it.
door when
He
you
had
called him.
And this was a
He's
big
like-
old fucking station wagon
It
he
was
had.
big and blue Chrysler
We
station
loaded
wagon.
up the station wagon. We took the kid to Winnick.
Chrysler.
Then we went
Mopar,
up.
son. Mopar.
We went up to UMass. We dropped my shit off and Kelly Ballows, wherever Kelly is. Hope you're doing good. And I said to him, because it was back in it was the old days, and I said, kind of like,
Jesus.
Mr. Capozzi, I got a cooler full of beer.
And he goes, Jesus
Why the
Christ.
fuck didn't you tell me that 2 hours
Yeah,
ago?
right.
So me and him were drinking beer back to Palmer, where we got a fucking U-Haul tow bar, and we towed the fucking truck back to.
You know what's interesting is you've told this
I'll
story.
never forget it.
You told me this
It's
story.
the best thing anybody's ever done for me.
I know. You told me this story at least 40 times, and you've told it at least 10 times on this show. I've never heard my dad's side of it. I got to hear my dad's side. Although I believe he's told me it, but just not recently. It was as wonderful an experience for him as it was for you. We'll put it that way. And he didn't get home that late. He got home at like 1:30 in the morning, something like that.
Yeah, it was a long fucking day.
He didn't leave until 3 or 4 in the afternoon, right? He didn't get to you until it was early evening.
No. Couldn't have been. 'Cause, I mean,
It was the end of summer, so it was still light out. I mean, you were moving into college, so it was the end of summer.
Exit 8 in Palmer, what's that, 2 hours?
It's 2 hours all day long from 8 Jacqueline Lane, all day long.
Left here at fucking, 8 o'clock in the morning?
You left at 8, or he did?
I did.
Yeah.
So we were out there by 10.
I'm telling you, he didn't leave until, all right. He didn't leave until after lunch. Maybe it was right before lunch. You know what? You might be right. Now I'm thinking it was right before lunch. More like 11:30.
Like lunch, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, you might be right.
He bombed out. He probably got there at 3.
And he made it happen. He helped you out. He was a good guy like that. Hey, he didn't actually actively move boxes and shit, though, did he? There's no way.
I think so.
Did he really?
And it was the most.
Because he wanted to see the inside of the
To
dorm.
this day, it was one of the most wonderful things anyone has ever done for another
Well,
person.
no, believe me. But the thing is you were doing him a favor as well. Because he needed to get
Well,
the
in
fuck
hindsight,
out.
maybe.
He needed to get the fuck out for that day. And you might have saved his marriage. You might have saved his marriage.
One will never know. I'm not going to.
It's one of those.
Look, I can't comment
Isn't
on
it?
that because I have no idea.
No.
But
What
I'm
I'm
just
saying
gonna
is
say-
it's one of those wonderful experiences in life.
I don't think either one of us will ever forget it.
Yeah. I know he won't.
I
And I know
mention
you
it-
won't
I
because you
mention
talk
it-
about it all the time. You talk about it all the time.
Well, I mention it every time I see him. I mention it.
Oh, every time you see him?
Yeah, pretty much.
No wonder he never comes around. He's getting sick of hearing that story.
Well, probably. Shut the fuck up. No, I mean not every time, but
No, I know what you're saying, buddy.
no, I mean that was a very graceful thing to do.
Yeah, it
for
was.
somebody to just pick up.
Yeah.
There's no fucking. There's no money in it. There's
No. No. He needed to get out. He was doing a favor for a friend who he loved, son. By the way, he held your father in such high esteem back then. That was before he lost respect for your father. But he still loved your father. You know what I mean? He loved him. He still loves him now. But what I'm saying is that was before he started realizing. Listen, you and I have never, ever, ever, ever argued like those two argued. You know what I mean? Because you and I are similarly politicked, probably. But those two assholes used to literally scream at each other. You know what I mean?
Well, my old man likes to. He loves getting somebody riled up too.
Yeah, but my father's the same way. He likes to push buttons. He'll push buttons all day long. You know what I mean? And they're both wildly smart. That's the other thing. Whatever. Maybe it's kind of like you and me, but
Sometimes it
difference
doesn't
is
help to be that smart.
It doesn't help. What? How?
Well, because it gets in the way of thinking.
Oh, I don't know, man.
You know, I think
Most
you
of the
can
time,
be-
there's not a lot of thinking going on.
You can be very smart, and you can outsmart yourself out of a lot of shit.
Well, yeah, I've done
You
that.
know what I mean?
I've done that at least 3 or 4 times in the last 7 days. You know what I mean?
You can outthink yourself.
I outthink myself all the time,
You can
dude.
think yourself into believing that
Especially at
nothing
work.
will work. You know.
Oh man, I outthink myself all the time. Even when in my previous professional fucking career, I would outthink myself all the time, and then I'm like, "You're a fucking asshole." You know what I mean? Let's just do things the hard way. You know what I mean?
How much
You gotta
time do we get into this fucking podcast?
Well, by the way, we didn't take a break, and I did that on purpose.
are we done?
No, we're not, because I want to talk about 2 more things. Okay? I just want to get quick opinions on them.
'Cause I'm starting to fall asleep.
No, you're not.
What time is it?
will you?
It's 8:04.
Listen.
How many minutes we get?
We
in
do
this for?
6:30 to 8:30 Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, listen. Granted, I took 3 shows off. I wanted to take 4 off. I took 3 off.
Yeah, fuck you. You can't
And then
make
you
fun
took
of me.
then you took 2 out of the next 4 off because
Eat me.
you're an alcoholic. And
Hey, I made up.
whenever we
I
missed,
made up for the 3
Yeah,
shows
whenever-
that you were
right.
off.
And I wanted to come
I
by
made
and
shows,
do my own show, and
motherfucker.
you wouldn't let me. And then
What are you
fucking
talking about? I told you could do your own show.
No, you
Come do
didn't.
your own show,
so
motherfucker.
just answer me this
Lying.
quickly.
Lying
Quickly,
cocksucker.
quickly answer me this:
Fucking
Is
ball-eating cock.
is Iran out of their fucking minds? Are they fucking nuts?
I don't know.
Don't they know that Israel will they'll do the fucking deed?
Honestly,
They will do the deed.
you have to tell me what happened. I have no idea. I don't watch.
Iran.
I don't pay any attention anymore. I've given up.
All right. You are familiar with the whole Israeli-Palestinian thing.
Well, yes,
Of course.
I know that.
Iran
I don't know
launched
what happened recently.
some fucking rockets, granted small ones, into fucking Israeli fucking holding area in what they consider Palestinian territory.
Okay.
And then Israel sent a lot bigger bombs back their way today
Well, Iran
to say, you know what? We're Israel and we don't play that shit. We just don't play that shit.
Here's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this
Go
to
ahead.
be true, but
This is what I'm asking. What do you think, Joe?
Here's what I think after watching so many years of this.
Yeah.
I think the United States wants Israel to fucking bomb Iran.
Of course they do.
Like nuke the living
of course
shit
we
out
do.
of it.
Of course.
And then we can go, oh, that was a terrible thing. And we can wave our finger.
oh
at
no
Israel.
we'll never wave
Meanwhile,
our.
going, good job.
Yeah, we'll
fucking
never wave our finger
BB.
at them. No.
Fucking do it again. Look, Iran's a pain in the ass, and I don't give a fuck about the Palestinians. And I'll tell you how bad it is over there. There are Israelis walking around with T-shirts on that have a pregnant Palestinian woman with, and it says something like, "Shoot her in the gut. That way we get 2 for 1 bullet."
Oh.
This is how bad it is.
Jeez, you know what? It translates, but it must be way funnier in Arabic. Arabic or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, the point is,
It's not that humorous.
the point is this: the Israelis.
Listen, Dan. Listen, you fucking maniac. Go ahead.
There's a lot of bleeding heart going on for the Palestinians.
Well, there always has been.
But the problem is the Palestinians don't want any fucking peace. They want Israel, everyone in Israel. They want every fucking Jew dead.
Yeah. They don't want them to move. They want them to die.
They want them to die.
Yeah.
They don't want to live peacefully.
Right.
They don't want to coexist.
It's just
They
fact.
They don't want to like have 2 states.
Yep.
They don't want to have 1 state.
Yep.
They want the Jews to fucking die.
To die. Yep.
And I think you get to the point where, and they lob fucking any rocket they can get into Israeli territory, and it's just like when I was listening to Joe Rogan. There was a woman on there, but she's 33, by the name of Abby Martin.
Okay.
She was in Israel. She's the one that Abby Martin. You can look it up. Seemed like a very nice woman. Seemed like she was extremely young, lacked perspective, hasn't been following the last 60 years of Israelis being in Israel.
Yeah.
The Palestinians for 60 fucking years have been trying to kill the Israelis.
Right.
Now, we know that Israel was started. Israel was a British fucking controlled area. And the British gave it to the Jews after World War II. Because after the Nazis killed 6 million of them, They said, maybe we should give this to the Jews. What do you think? You know what I mean? Seemed like an okay gesture.
I think it was officially a United Nations thing, but you're right.
Well, no, but what I'm
It
saying
was a
is...
British-held territory at that point. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know. Just trying to
And
clarify
I
that
the
we
Jews ought
here
to have that fucking land.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck about the Palestinians. The Palestinians are like the Indians. You know, if all you motherfuckers out west are worried about the Indians,
Listen,
then give them your fucking house back.
traditional Palestine itself used to be a country, and it had a sliver of modern fucking Israel, which is a sliver of land, and it was parts of Syria, parts of fucking Jordan. You know what I mean? Palestine itself was a big lump of land.
Nobody wants the Palestinians.
Well,
nobody wants them. Jordan doesn't want them. Egypt doesn't want them.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I think they're pretty much fucking worthless.
They got X'd out. And by the way, they are a nation of people just like the Israelis are.
Who?
And yet the Palestinians. There was a place called Palestine. And that's fine. But you know what?
Who was there first? Israel or Palestine?
Well, it was
me answer that
Judea.
for you.
It was Judea in the old days. And they were
Israel.
Right.
Israel was there
You know
first.
that Arabs and Jews are racially the same people. So religiously,
Yeah.
Jewish people have occupied what is now Israel
Wailing
forever.
Wall.
Forever.
Yeah. That's their
Forever
land.
and ever, amen. It's
Pretty
their
much
land.
their fucking land.
It's their land.
So if they can... I'm tired of the Palestinians.
Yeah, well, they're gypsies.
Now, the weird thing
At best.
you can't be
Gypsies at best.
you can't be a people that has had genocide committed upon your people, and then turn around and commit genocide and kill all the Palestinians.
Yeah, well, they're not doing that.
Well, I believe they want to.
Yeah, but they don't do it because they're fucking modern. They're the very fucking model of a modern major general.
Well,
they're
they do
fucking.
a lot of things
they're not,
like this. Like a kid will
suppress
lob
them.
over a fucking Molotov cocktail,
and then they'll
and then the Israelis
will
shoot
send
like
a rocket
50
launcher.
fucking people.
Yeah, they just destroy the whole place with a 50 caliber
like-
fucking weapon.
Like 17 buildings go up in smoke.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, you got to fight fire with fire. My fire might be bigger than yours.
But these fuckers don't seem to learn. These, Palestinians
At the
are
very least, they don't listen. They may not learn,
they
but they
don't
definitely
seem
don't
to want to
listen.
accept the fact that
They're a lot like a
they're
battered
a
wife.
conquered people.
They're a lot like a battered wife. They
And you
just
know what?
don't listen.
They, if they stop lobbing the rockets, I think things would get better for them.
Yeah, maybe they should just simmer the fuck down. Just simmer
They're
down.
going to wait it out because they're ready to wait for 1,000 years. You know what I mean?
The Palestinians?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about that either.
They're ready to wait.
And in the meantime, we're talking about the highest level of representation. We're talking about the people who represent them. They're, for the most part, for a fact, your fucking average Palestinian and your average Israeli has no problems with your average Israeli and your average Palestinian. It's not even fucking Catholics and Protestants
Nah,
in
they
Northern
hate each
Ireland.
other.
They don't. They don't hate each other.
They do. They hate each other.
They don't. That's my point. They don't hate each other.
I think they
and
do.
you got fucking
I think you're wrong.
opportunist cunt politicians, just like we have in this fucking area of the world.
You had Yasser
They're
Arafat.
opportunist
You had
cunts.
Yasser Arafat
Who was
for
the ultimate
50 fucking years.
And he's the ultimate opportunist
Clinton.
cunt. He even looks like a cunt.
Bill Clinton was almost brought. They gave Yasser Arafat.
What kind of name is Yasser? Is that the opposite of no, sir?
I believe Yasser means fucking cunt in some language.
At least he died. He died a painful cancerous death,
Good.
by the way. Painful. He did not die well.
Because under
He
Clinton,
was a soft motherfucker, too, by the way.
fucking, I want to say it was Ariel Sharon, gave that motherfucking 95% of what he wanted.
They're all lifetime politicians, too, all those assholes over there. Although
You
some
know
of them
what?
are
He
soldiers.
turned down, Sharon offered him a free fucking lunch. And he said no. You know why? Because they don't want peace. They're not looking for peace.
So what are they looking for?
They're gonna live. They're gonna keep breeding. They're gonna outlive the Israelis, and eventually it'll become their land again.
Yeah, eventually, and that's
In 1,000
ridiculous.
years.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's the way they think. They think long term.
Well, that's really long term. That's fucking extra long term, son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So I'm going to get off this real quick, and I just want to say that this right here, now we had a little back and forth about this, but we would have celebrated our 50th show already. Tonight is show 49, which to me, hey, we celebrated 39 with Scott Jesse because 39 was always a number that followed our band. 39 was the name of our album. And 49 is how old I am right now. And I got 2 weeks till my birth. 2 weeks till I'm 50,
Fucking
Joe.
50, baby.
So tonight is show 49, and we're winding things down. Listen, you're not fucking with me, right? You didn't do a show the last two. Can we please do our 50th show Tuesday? Can I plan our 50th show
of course.
Tuesday? All right, good.
No, I'm not. Unless fucking Eversource sends me another $40,000 bill.
Here's the thing, Joe. I'm going to plan, and we're going to do a 50th show Tuesday. Okay? Is that cool? Tuesday, we got to do a show.
Yeah. The great one.
I don't know what I'm going to come
I'll
up with.
prepare some stuff.
We're gonna have a
show
good time.
50. It's not really that big of a deal.
It's not a big deal because it's not even really show 50. You know what I mean? It's show 50, 60, something. It's not show
for
50.
all you assholes out there that actually pay attention to this podcast at all. Now, I know that it goes down to maybe show 10 or something, and then maybe there's 1 and 2, and there's a few missing in between. But we did all of those shows, but they were fucking horrible. And then there were shows that Al, my co-host here, fucking didn't have the microphones turned on.
Yeah, I
There
lost.
was 6 or 7 of those.
Yeah, there's 4 of those, and it was.
So there were some shows that
and
really sucked.
2 of them were really good shows.
And then there was some where Al didn't have the fucking microphones on. So that's why we always say that we've got 50 some odd shows.
Yeah, we got way more than what we
which
say.
we do, but
It's just, you know
some
what, it's
of them
just
are
a smile. It's just a smile. Because, Joe was in the beginning, he's like, you got to keep track of the show numbers. I'm like, all right. He goes, because Joe Rogan and these other guys, it says show number this and show number that. I'm like, all right, I get it.
it's wildly important.
So it is
well,
important.
it works for Joe Rogan.
No, it's working for us as well. But what I want to say is even though it's working for us, it's not. It's kind of like, BC and AD. It's not. Listen, it's up for debate if there was a Jesus Christ, but he probably
I don't believe
wasn't
there's any
born.
debate.
He probably wasn't born or died 2000. They don't even know what the year 0 is when he got born and when he died.
No.
It's looking like it was 3 years before he died, so he was 30. You know what I'm saying? So he died in the year 003, not 0. You know what I mean?
You gotta figure.
And that's if
2,000
you
years
believe
ago,
there was a
that's pretty
Jesus
goddamn
anyway.
Accurate.
Well, right. So it's
3 years is ooh, that's pretty goddamn.
yeah,
close.
you're within 3 out of 2,000. So was that 0.3? It's like a 0.0015 fucking.
damn close.
That ain't too bad. That's what I'm saying. Our show is a
I
lot
think what
like
we ought to do is
Jesus
start,
Christ. We are like Christ. We're Christ-like,
I
Joe.
wanna
That's what
start
I'm saying. We're
following
Christ-like.
the Jewish calendar, and it's year 5775 this year.
That's a long time, man. 6,000 years. What's it in the What's Chinese? It's got to be similar, right?
I
Chinese.
don't know.
Oh, we got to look that up.
I know what the Jewish one is.
I
'cause
bet you
love-
China and Jewish.
If any
is
of
the
you
same.
out there are Jewish that listen to us, I love me the Jews.
Yeah.
My
We
best-
have my
one of
brother
best
David
friends
is
on the
Jewish.
planet is a Jew.
Ira.
I love the Jews.
Well, how can
I
you not love the
Jewish
Jews?
people.
I will admit,
Well, ask the Nazis.
I was a little anti-Jewy before I figured shit out, and now I'm like, The Jewish people are just.
Let me tell you about. I'm gonna real quick about.
I wish I was Jewish. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't wish I was Jewish.
No, I do.
I admire the Jewish people have a culture.
Although I would still be I would still be circumcised and have a really small prick.
That is based on achievement and education.
Yeah.
And they're the most successful group of people.
Yeah, as a group. Yeah.
Actually, they're the only group of people that is a ethnicity and a religion tied into one.
And it's really not an ethnicity because Arabs and Jews are the same. They're the same.
If you're a Christian, how the hell could you ever be against the Jews? Because Jesus was a Jew.
Yeah, right.
So if you don't like the Jews,
no, if you are a true Christian and you love
Christian,
Jewish people,
you're a fucking asshole.
No. If you gotta look at the big picture, big picture.
Morons. Fucking morons.
If there's not that many,
Christ was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fucking white guy.
I'll tell you right now, Christ was a nappy-headed nigger. That's what he was. You know what I mean?
Don't say the N-word.
Christ was a nappy-headed nigger.
Or they're gonna come.
That's with a GA, not an ER.
All right, let's fucking end this.
All right. So anyway, Joe, I love you. You know that, right?
I love you.
You know I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for tonight. Tonight was a great.
You don't leave the baby wipes open.
I'm sorry, baby. I
dry out.
I wish I could say it was me.
The fucking wet wipes.
I wish I could say it was me, but who else comes by regularly? You know what I mean?
I don't know. It could be a fucking mysterious shitter.
It's weird, man.
Somebody just coming in, dropping a bomb.
And I get what you're saying because I I used to yell at her up until 6 months ago.
Now
yell at my wife because I was like, can you please close the fucking wet wipes fucking package.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Otherwise, you're going to have dry wipes. And
it's one of those things, I go through cycles. I use them, I stop using them, and then I start using them because I forget. They make me bleed, and then it takes 1.5 years, 2 years, and I'm bleeding uncontrollably.
Oh, come on. I don't want to hear this.
From
Nobody
my
wants to
rectum
hear
hole.
Goodbye, everybody.
Listen, America, the world, we love you. People of Earth, I didn't say it at the beginning. People of Earth, we love you.
Show 50 next week.
Yep. Show 50 is going to be Tuesday. Joe, don't cancel Tuesday on me, will you? All right, baby. I love you. Where are you going? Hey, I don't have to drop music in the middle. All I got to do is do intro and outro. The show will be up in 20 minutes, folks.
Thank fucking God.
All right. Good night.